Need you to get real loose. Get comfortable. Grab your loved ones or grab your love partner. And if you're by yourself, no worries. Just follow after me. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it.
Hello, boys and girls. It is week number 7? Yeah, it's week 7, 3.7, episode 33? 33? 33 in. I am Michael Toll, owner of the Genitals. This is Mr. Victor Rodriguez, owner of the franchise. We're going to do picks for you, hit you with a little bit of waiver wire action. As always, like, comment, share when we get done. Tell us what you think. I'll let Victor run with the waiver wire. I thought the waiver wire was a little bit boring this week, but we'll see what Victor thinks about it.
No, I agree with you. We don't have that must-have guy. I picked up Hunter Henry like on Friday or Saturday, so if he was available, I imagine he would have been the top waiver wire ad.
Yeah.
But there was not a lot of action this week. Everyone's already planning out a week ahead, I guess it seems, because everyone that you would pick up this week has already been added. The only one that I went after that had a double bid on was Pittsburgh's defense against Miami next week. Pittsburgh's on a bye. So Chris beat me by $1 on that one. So disappointed on that because he seems to do that every week. But other than that, it's pretty simple on the waiver wire. Not a bunch of ads to get to.
Yeah. Well, that kicks us straight into picks. First up, let's talk about my game. I'm playing Joe Tigert. I got a bad feeling I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in making a bet on this game. None whatsoever. Like, I need Rashad Penny to stab Chris Carson in the middle of the night and start this week. I need Jamal Williams to score again. Kenny Golladay I like. Allen Robinson I like. Matt Ryan I like. Travis Kelce I like. But 4 out of 8 spots ain't going to get it done. Got a real bad one here in front of me. Victor, you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten you this week instead of next week. Man. But luckily you have Jamal Williams. He popped up for you. I thought that was going to be a for sure loss for you. Either way, you sliced it for you at the running back position. But Joe Tigert, he has tennis Derrick Henry, who I think since his last, 7 or 8 games, he's only had one 100-yard game, and he had it this year against the Falcons, and it was like exactly 100 yards. So he's kind of like that RB2 guy. He slowed down a lot. After his 2 big games this week, he's only put up better than RB16. He's never finished better than RB16, I'm sorry. So I think you do have a chance. It's going to come heavily from Travis Kelce. They get him rolling, and if your wide receivers can carry your team this week. But I'm going to roll with Tigert just because he just has a better overall team perspective. You do have Matt Ryan, who could become the first player to ever throw 300 yards and start the season, first 7 games. It's going to be a little bit difficulty with Ramsey coming to the Rams now. But I think he gets that 7 game streak of 300 yards. But it won't be enough as a QB4 for the year. But nice play for you. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough this week.
Well, unfortunately, probably see that in my future as well, which is highly unfortunate because then I've got to listen to Tiger talk about it for the next 8 weeks. So, anyway, whatever. It is what it is. Next up, we have got Nick's Kicks against the franchise here. I guess we'll see what Nick's going to end up doing at his defensive position, but I don't think it's going to matter. Victor's got a lot going this week. If Saquon plays like Saquon can play and he's not limited in any way, Victor probably rolls by 15 points. So I'm taking Vic this week unless something unforeseen happens. I think that one's a lock for me. What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, I'm hoping Saquon's been full participant in practice, I believe, the last 2 days. So that's pretty good. Wayne Gallman's still in the concussion protocol. So I like my chances of Barkley finally paying off after holding him on for about to be It's going on 3 weeks. Next team is got some great matchups at the wide receiver position. John Brown did pop up on the injury report with a groin injury yesterday. He's back at practice today. And Tariq Cohen, I think, is going to be something to watch on my end, just because Chicago coming out of the bye, they wanted to implement some different type of plays, get him going. You have to. David Montgomery's not doing it. Lamar Jackson, I'm finally getting to get that match that I dreaded, trading him away. And Patrick Mahomes hasn't been Patrick Mahomes here of late, but 75% of Patrick Mahomes is still better than a lot of these quarterbacks. So I like my chances here. I do have a trade that's coming through. It's already been, I don't know, should I break the news? All right, so there is a trade that's going to affect my lineup. So I'll see if this happens, and I'll let you go back on it. So I'm trading Austin Eckler and Hunter Henry. It's already been agreed to through messages. He hasn't accepted it. For one Mike Evans. So when you look at it, all right, so Jaren's trade, reason why, if you add up every week he's played a tight end, he's gotten him 26.2 points, I believe. Hunter Henry just got 22 yesterday. So over the year, when he totaled up his tight end position, is 25 points. He's getting a major upgrade there with for sure tight end 1. And then Austin Eckler, Zeke going on bye, he gets to fill that void. He does have Miles Sanders, who's sharing the backfield and has got tough matchups. And he's also got Sony Michel, who's sharing the backfield with 3 other guys.
That's your guy right there.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So I don't know if that would change or implement. I don't know what I would do at the flex position, but
no,
should it?
That doesn't move the needle for me.
Okay.
Yeah. No. You'll beat Nick in my opinion. So.
Okay.
Third game that we've got rolling out for the week. F the franchise against Straight Cash Homie. The battle of the bottom dwellers. I think it's probably closer than it should be. I'm going to take Jaren to end up pulling it out. Mark has had a real run of bad luck. So, highly possible. I think it's a fairly close game, but I think Jaren gets it done. Jacoby Brissett's been a pretty good breath of fresh air. Zeke is Zeke. Miles Sanders sucks, but if Eckler can play well, obviously, since that's going to be his guy, I think I'd start Sony Michel over Eckler personally, and probably flex Eckler maybe. But I think Jaren's got enough this week to take down Mark. Tom Brady's playing the Jets. The Jets tend to play a little harder, and they beat the Cowboys last week, which means nothing. The Jets still suck, and that was such a terrible loss. Tom Brady's got a lot left in the tank, but does he run for a touchdown or two? That could potentially be the difference, but I think Jaren will get one done against Mark there.
Yeah, so I was looking back at Mark, and I was trying to figure out why is he so bad here. It's because when you look at his division, it has me and John, and both of us are up there as far as points and divisions, off-season our divisions, so he's played us twice apiece. So that's 4 losses, where actually he got 1 over John. And he played Chris Powell, who is the number 2 seed currently as we sit. So he's got to have a run of playing bad teams here eventually. But I think he's going to catch Jaren on one of Jaren's good weeks. Jaren's been up and down. And Kamara's probably not going to play. They've already signed the running back, Zach Zenner, so that's not looking good for him. But he gets Marlon Mack back, paired with Latavius Murray, but I think that Jaren pulls this one away in a close one, unfortunately for Mark. But good for us.
God almighty. Rough year for Mark. Next matchup, we've got the GOAT emoji. Mike Green took the loss last week. He did lose before the Patriots lost, so I'd like to go on record as saying I got something correct. Shark Attack, Jason Sprayberry, 2-4, been a rough year, but I think he's got a chance in this game. I don't know that he gets it done. I believe Mark's team has reloaded, obviously, very well. Dalvin Cook's going to ball, I think, against Detroit. Dak Prescott's probably the unknown there. What can he do? But I got Mike, the goat emoji, taking down Shark Attack, Mr. Jason Sprayberry.
I agree with you. Mike scored 69 points last week, his season low. But I think that his matchups with Dak Prescott is going to put him over the top. Jason's like one of those teams, slew of injuries, matchups. It's going to be some points scored. But I have Mike still pulling this one out, and with the heavy hand of the Patriots defense. Not going to score as much, but I think they get you around 12 points.
Yep. Next up, right before game of the week, we've got Ainsley Springer against the Hood Rats. Ainsley big, not a lot to say there. Billy has had some great games. I don't know that this week's going to be one of them. Phillip Rivers has got a rough matchup against Tennessee. He's got some other players, some pieces that could potentially do something. He probably needs Melvin Gordon to have a Melvin Gordon game to have a chance against Ainsley. But I just think Ainsley's got too much at this point. If Devontae Freeman plays like he did last week, obviously he's got Julio Jones. Ainsley has scored a lot of points this year. I don't think that stops this week. I got Ainsley beating Billy.
I agree with you. I think Ainsley does have a lot going for him. I look back at Billy to figure out why his points haven't been matching what his points are, his wins were, and that's because I looked back at it last night. Billy has only scored 20 points with his quarterback once, and I think that's where he's losing a lot of his points, and a lot of his wins could come from that if he fixed his quarterback position. He's kind of cheap at the wide receiver perspective, so if you did want to take a couple of those running backs and go get a dominant running back and pitch off one of those running backs for an elite wide receiver, I can see him doing that, changing it around. Ainsley Springer, he's been putting up a lot of numbers, 0.55 last week.
Yes.
So I think that he'll get it up there again.
He'll get it up again? That's good for him.
Not like that. Yeah. I like what you did there. But it's going to be around like a 90-point game for him. He's got the tight end position, even though Billy has Austin Hooper. But I think they'll shut him down in L.A.
You're on record saying that Ainsley only scores around 90 this week. He doesn't break 100?
I don't think he breaks 100.
I'll take him breaking 100. Game of the week, Chris Powell against John Hodges. Switzer Sweets against Team Belichick Mate. Two teams that are 4-2. Two teams that could use a win here for playoff position down the road. It'll be an interesting one. I don't know that it's particularly close, but it could get interesting. I don't trust Le'Veon Bell for shit. Every week, somebody's got Le'Veon Bell rated way too high for me, for my liking. I don't know. Tyreek Hill here can ball out. I think it does a lot for John. Evan Ingram's got a great matchup against Arizona, though, so that tight end position could come down to it. Terry McLaughlin, which sounds like a fucking, I don't know what that's an awful name. But anyway, he's been playing well, obviously. Aaron Jones, for me, for all intents and purposes, right now, he was obviously the best guy on the field against Dallas, but the way the Green Bay ran Jamal Williams last week, he's a running back too, at best. But I think it's closer than we think it's going to be, but I got Chris Powell pulling out the W in the game of the week.
I got Chris winning it too. On the heels of Evan Ingram, just that matchup in Arizona is going to be monstrous for him. I hope that it doesn't take too much away from Barkley. But I am thinking Chris pulls his way. If you look at John's roster, he's got two positions to fill, the tight end and defensive position. I already got to him this morning. I told him, let's make a trade. He better do it quick for Jaren clicks accept. But he's got to drop somebody. And I'll be there like a vulture waiting on to see who it is because he's got some nice pieces. Or he can just ride it out because tight end position's been crapshoot, and the defense as well. So it's not two big holes that you really need to pay any attention to. But I think he wins this. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't been what DeAndre Hopkins is. He can be the top guy. He has not. He's only had 100-yard game. And Will Fuller has 6 targets a game, which is taken away from DeAndre. And I forgot to add that into Jaren's matchup. Any receiver who's had 6 or more targets or 75 yards or more.
I do have to say that your ability to recall people's lineups, because you don't know this right now, but Victor doesn't have the ability to look at the matchups right now because he's on his phone for the call. Your ability to recall who has what player, you need to get a better job. Like, you need a real job. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. I have to look at it to be able to understand. Yeah, but, I mean, I think you're spot on. I don't understand.
No, but I think that Will Fuller, he's been shown that he can stretch the field, and unfortunately for John, DeAndre Hopkins hasn't been what he's been, but he's got Tyreek Hill back, and that can be a 20-point games we've seen last week within a matter of 2 plays. So I do have Chris winning this one. I would like to see what the Patriots do against Le'Veon Bell, because that was kind of, believe it or not, I thought about sitting Chubb next week against you, depending on how they handle Bell this week. If they shut him down, I might have shut Chubb down as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. Current standings that we've got. Chris Powell leading the North. Mr. Franchise here leading the South. Go to Moji leading the East. And I am leading the West. My division. This week, does everybody in my division lose this week? That'd be interesting. I mean,
it'd be good for you.
It would be fine for me because I'm getting my ass kicked. So,
well, you jumped me in the rankings. You're number 3 in the playoff schedule. So if they end today, you're number 3 and I'm number 4 seed.
Yeah.
So I don't like that, but we'll settle that next week.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. That's what we got for you. Episode number 33, 3.7 of the year. Thank you guys for watching. Victor, last word?
If you want that podcast to review our league again, just send me $2 and I can get that out there and they'll break down our league. Same people that did our draft, they'll do the mid-season review and give us potential trade offers, who they think's going to win, and anything that's happened, they'll break it all down for us.
Cool. There you go. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck to everybody this week. I guess even if you're playing me, because I don't really have a chance. So we'll see you next week. And like as always, like, comment, share, tell us what you think. We'll see you.
Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders. Do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the 2-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart.